welcome to Awkward Conversations. We're glad you're joining us today for this conversation.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Where
all those
we
great
are.
things at the moment. Might be afternoon.
Might be afternoon. For
Might be
you.
the middle of the night. Okay, that was awkward. Not really. So today, we're going to have the awkward money conversation.
Okay.
Which I think is extremely awkward for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So because this is awkward conversations, I can say something here that maybe I wouldn't say in a lot of settings. I think people get as weird about money as they do about sex. They don't like to talk about it. They get embarrassed. They feel unsure. All those same kinds of things. I think it's a pretty strong impact for a lot of people.
That's so interesting. I hadn't thought about that at all. I don't know.
Well, and I think that I would agree with you. And I think it's because for you and I, this has not been like a big challenge area. I mean, we have financial issues.
It has been challenging, but not between us.
Right. Where I think a lot of couples find. So I say all that thinking that this, I think, could be really helpful for people today.
Yeah.
I mean, why else would we do it?
I hope so. I also, I think it's important to say, like, where we've come from. Like, we've had years of being incredibly poor to where, we're not going to Taco Bell to eat because it's too expensive. Which I'm talking about when Taco Bell had, dollar menu, occasionally 59-cent items. Like, that was too expensive for us.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to know that where we're coming from in some ways. We've been through bankruptcy, like we've had rough spots that financially have hurt us and been damaging. Yeah. And so I think it's interesting too, because I think a lot of people, a lot of couples probably, because it is awkward, don't even have a budget.
I think you're exactly right.
And that's
I mean, the very simplest of things.
The first thing. Right. The first thing you should do is have a budget.
Yeah.
And I get why, because I personally don't like budgets. Like, I don't like having to look at that and go, oh, shucks, we're over, or can't spend anymore, whatever, so. Yeah,
and I could go off on that kind of thing, but that's not today's conversation. Yeah. But you're right. Yeah. It's the very simplest of things that a lot of people avoid, and they avoid it for reasons. I mean, I love numbers. I love the activity of finances, and yet I don't even really care for a budget because it tells me no at times. Yeah. And I don't like that. Who likes that, right? Yeah. And I think to get us going, though, I think every couple has an awkward money conversation of some kind. And I think,
probably more than one.
Well, no. I mean, they have things that are awkward among finances for them. Yeah. In a bigger scale. Yeah. It's going to be different for different couples. I do think that one of my big encouragements today would be, don't ignore it just because it's uncomfortable, or because you don't like, a budget telling you no, or because you're unsure, you're uneducated in this area. Maybe, it's almost a crime, in my opinion, that in school, in basic, certainly maybe even elementary, but middle school and high school, that we don't learn basic financial skills and basic nutrition skills. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Those things are typically not taught. Now, maybe it's better in some places than others. Sure. But people are not coming into adulthood with those kinds of skills. Yeah. And so don't let that, freak you out or cause you to not have the conversation, because awkward or not, there's a reason that finances is one of the big things when it comes to divorce. Because people simply aren't talking about it. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. To me, today is not about solving all this for anybody. Right. It's about having a conversation and hopefully inspiring a conversation. Yeah. Now, we do have some themes here and some things maybe we want to venture in and talk about a few of those things. Or do you have something else?
I was just thinking about
that it might inspire them to at least have the conversation. Yeah. If they're not.
And that's what I was thinking about, is for a lot of people, those difficult conversations, you just tend to shy away from it. And that does nothing, whether the conversation is about kids or religion or money. you avoiding the conversation doesn't help resolve the conversation. It doesn't bring it to any sort of resolution. And so for whatever reason, if you're one of those couples or one of those people within the couple who just doesn't want to talk about it, my encouragement would be like, if you talk about it, it can become easier to talk about, but it can also become resolved in a sense. It doesn't mean it's going to fix your money stuff, but the more you talk about it, the easier it becomes. And I think it's important. Now, the key is when you talk about it, that both parties are able to have an adult grown-up conversation, right? Which is true just in marriage. Like, we don't need to call names. We don't need to say always and never. Those basic principles. Like,
doesn't seem like that should need to be said, but it does.
Just be kind when you go in to talk about those hard conversations.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Just bring in basic. I hear you unpack that, and I think any area that we're talking about money today, but any area where you struggle, having conversation around it internally, your internal dialogue, have a conversation with yourself, but also as a couple, it's just important to learn those conversational skills and be willing.
Yeah. And that's just marriage.
That's just marriage.
Is like figuring out, how do we talk about hard things? How do we express? How do we have a conversation around things that we have very different opinions on. For very different reasons. And let me tell you something. Probably both of you are right.
Oh, like, that's so true, right?
You have these opinions and these beliefs about money specifically, but about anything, where you have these vastly different thoughts about the way it should be done, and the way it should go. The reality is you're probably both right. So then it is that space of like, how do we find agreement? How do we find compromise? How do we find togetherness within our differences? That is what makes us great as a couple, is him being able to yield a little bit, me being able to yield a little bit. That's what gets us to that point of greatness. It is why opposites attract. And it's not, it's God's idea to make us better, greater together.
Absolutely. You're so right. And it's not just about yielding. That's a piece of it. But the other thing is you have strengths in areas that I don't. So capitalizing on those strengths, benefiting the union is really pretty cool.
I always tell our kids that we've gotten to where we have financially. This isn't the only. I mean, we've gotten where we have because of God's kindness to us. I mean, I would say just some luck, some dumb luck. There's just
it's a combo.
Various things that have gotten us to where we are. But I always say to the kids and to anybody who asks, it's like, the reason we've gotten where we have financially is because I'm very generous and Seth is very, what's the word? Frugal, very conscientious, very aware of the budget, aware of what we should and shouldn't spend. And that's needed. That's not a bad thing. Now, if he's got a poverty mindset or he's being a tightwad just to be a tightwad, that's something totally different. But he has this very conscientious, responsible idea of money and the way it should be done. I have this very generous thing of money, like, let's give more, and so those are our tugs on each other. And it is like, that's his way of like yielding in a sense, and my way of yielding, so that we can work together to accomplish.
I think what I hear numerous things in what you just said, but one of the things I hear is like, go ahead and own your stuff. And be okay with the areas where you're maybe like giving. I'm a pathetic giver. And yet I see God as this massive giver. I see this theme throughout Scripture of God as a very generous God. And that truly is a part of then who we are.
Yeah.
But that's a weakness in me. I'm okay with acknowledging that. Partly I'm okay with acknowledging it because I know that I'm not alone in this. We're a union, a team, and you're better at that. So it's nice to know that's not an excuse to not be constantly growing in that area, but own your stuff, own where those weaknesses are. We have a friend, I won't mention a name, but a friend who grew up where anything he wanted, daddy got for him. And so as an adult, he said he learned that if you wanted anything, you just put it on the credit card. The credit card became daddy, right? And suddenly it became a massive problem. Well, the moment that he was willing to own that was a moment of growth and stopping the pain of overdoing that. So anyway, I think for all of us, there's those things. So own those. We don't have to go through all this, but I'm thinking about this issue and thinking, what if there are power dynamics? What if I am trying to control you or you're trying to control me with finances? That would be something to own. Because money's not about trying to control. Spending versus saving. Some people are really good at saving. And some people are really good at spending, and I suppose there's a balance in there. But these are some of the kinds of things we've mentioned: giving or generosity. These are the kinds of things that in this we're trying to inspire you to have this conversation, no matter how awkward it might be. So no matter what your hang up might be, whatever your problems might be. Sandra mentioned that we faced bankruptcy at one point. Now, I could sit here and say that part of that was because of a massive 2008 real estate downturn. And that's true. Part of it also is we overextended ourselves. We bought into a 2004, 5, and 6, and 7 mentality of just borrow, borrow, borrow. Right? So it'd be wrong of me to say, oh, that was all on other dynamics. No, I need to own that. But, it's a good thing. I liked how you said that a little bit ago, that you learn how to abase, as Paul puts it in the Bible. Learn how to abase, learn how to abound, and everything in between.
That means you learn how to live with very little, and you also learn how to live with a lot. And
do it well. With the integrity and life that God has put in you.
And when I say a lot, that doesn't mean everybody's going to learn how to live with a lot. And a lot can be defined in 1,000 different ways.
Absolutely, it can.
But the point is, there's seasons that we go through where we're okay, and there's seasons we go through where we have to be more aware and a little bit pull back a little bit, and and reasons, and we make choices that cause those things, and even sometimes we pull back. We're currently in a season of okay, we need to pull back a little bit because we have these things in front of us that we want to do. Well, that's going to take us a few years to get into the position that we want to be in. But we have these goals in front of us. And I think also within marriage, that's part of the goodness of a marriage is having these goals that you're working towards together.
Absolutely.
And so
there's something powerful about that.
Can you work towards some of these goals together? That is the ultimate, right? And I think, for younger couples who are watching or listening to this, I would say if you're younger, understand that if you just make a few sacrifices here and now, it gets you to a better place because you make those sacrifices, and instead of spending money on, whatever you want to spend money on, whatever you tend to be doing, golf, coffee, I don't know what your Achilles heel is, but whatever that thing is, if you make a little bit of sacrifice and you take that money instead and you put it over here to save, to grow. If you do that, it seems painful at the time, but in the long run, it pays off. And I think that's something I wish I had been told is, hey, sweetheart, if you'll just hang on for a little while and you'll just live like this for a few years, and granted, I'm talking 10 years, 15 years, but still, you do this consistently. It's like we've said before, small hinges swing big doors. If you make consistent effort every day at these things, it pays off. You will reap what you sow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you point out the younger years. One of the beautiful thing about younger years is you have a lot of time in front of you, and that can be your benefit in life in general, but also in finances for sure.
Yes.
And it's worth the sacrifice up front to have things down the road that others won't have.
Yes.
There's a guy I listen to a lot that says, live like no one else lives right now so that you can live like no one else lives in the future.
Yeah.
And that actually is a really good application in a lot of areas of life.
Yeah.
But certainly finances. Live like no one else so that you can live like no one else down the road.
You know, I don't know where you live, but I know in our culture in Colorado, everybody's about going to the gym, working out, eating healthy, like pretty much across the board. That is our culture. So maybe you're not in this culture, but I'm saying, like, it's interesting to me, and I've realized this in my life coaching, that it's interesting how many people will do the workout piece.
Oh.
But they won't do the same thing when it comes to money, or they won't do the same thing.
That's really good.
Like, they get it. They understand the concept. If I go to the gym every day, I can look like this. Great. If you do the same with money. That's
really good. I hope you're listening to this. This is really, really good.
If you do the same, like you make these decisions with money every day, you can have this, whatever, that those kind of goals are. If you spend time with Jesus in the Bible this much every day, you will become that person who walks with God, who is full of wisdom, who knows what to do, when to do it, when you're in crisis. Like, these are the things, that sowing and reaping principle, it's so basic, and it seems like people get it here about the gym. And I'm always amazed, those same people that I sit and talk to don't want to do the things scripturally, like I'm talking like spend time in the Word, or they don't want to do the things where they journal for 5 minutes a day to take care of your own heart, or where they, meditate, whatever your way of healing wholeness is. But they don't want to do those things, and yet they'll go to the gym and spend 2 hours every day. And I'm just like, you get the concept. But making that connection, anyway.
I think one of the things I'm hearing you point out, though, is find these areas that are critically important and then find a balance. Like, you don't need to spend 2 hours in the gym.
No.
Right? No. You could easily, because people, I've heard it said, I probably have said it myself, I don't have time to do all of the things. Well, find the moderation with it, right? Maybe 20 or 30 minutes in the gym is more than enough, which then gives you 20 or 30 minutes for some devotions of whatever form, which gives you also 20 or 30 minutes to spend on your finances, to where you really do learn a rhythm of life, so to speak, to where there's balance. And I think, can I just point out real quick too, there are seasons of life, right? Like a young mother with 3 small children is not going to have the time for things that she will in 20 years when those kids are all adults. It's okay to honor those seasons of life. The young man who's building his career will have a lot and has a young family will have a lot less time than he will when he's 60. Right? Career's built, children are grown. He's got some freedom then. It's okay to honor those seasons of life. I don't know. I just feel like that's an important thought.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think, there are so many things that, we've said things that I'm like, oh my goodness, we could dig into that for an hour, right? On little individual points within today's conversation. I think what I would like you to hear more than anything is have the conversation. Own your stuff, and then find, have the conversation between the two of you, but also reach out and find, if you need education, if you need tools, if you need whatever to help in that conversation, seek it out. Find it, because it's out there. And it's easier than ever.
Absolutely.
To find the tools and the conversations and the resources and the advice. And, maybe mom and dad didn't have that to offer you, or your school or whatever. Well, find the teacher. That ancient Chinese proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's out there. The Bible says more about finances than almost anything else, which is, to me, insane. That is such a top high priority topic, but it's part of how we operate in this world, and how you do it matters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it matters as a couple, because if you're at odds, then the world's not right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Your relationship with your spouse is of significant impact.
Yeah.
In the arena of money, children, religion, sex,
everything,
and where you live. Like,
right?
Well, no, I'm listing those main things that are reasons people get divorced.
They are. Yeah.
So
that's good.
So yes, everything. But
but those key areas that are of obvious significant damage.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And all I'm saying is your marriage matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Your marriage is important. It's worth doing what you need to keep it alive, because again, you give those little bits of time to it now, you will have the life that you want with your partner in the future.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. It's good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have the conversation. And I guess that's it.
Okay.
We'll see you next time around.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. And please like and subscribe so that others will find this content and find the blessing that it'll be to them.